Hello guys, welcome back to another Neuro video, and today I'm gonna show you the Void Gauntlet. It's already officially arrived into Neuro. It's being announced and it's already available in the PTR, so you want to test it out, go ahead and download the PTR. The weapons, so far my first impression, I've not played with the weapon as of yet because I've been doing other things, testing other things, but I've been playing against them because of course everybody's doing builds with it already and play with it. So the entire server was playing with the Void Gauntlet. So I had the opportunity to play against it with my build that I have live, and I can say that the weapon it is powerful. It's not. I feel like the Ice Gauntlet is still superior in my opinion. You have way more damage with it. That's from my experience. For me, Ice Gauntlet is a little bit harder than the Void Gauntlet so far, but it's still a very fantastic weapon. I think it's very cool the way they set up the skills. You feel like if you were a WoW player, it's a mix in between Discipline Priest and a Shadow Priest, where you need to do damage in order to get heal back. And I wanted to go over the talents, so you know each one of them, what they do, and if you're interested, you can start building now. Before I start, I noticed that most people have been pairing up this weapon with Rapier. I think it's a very great combo, and also Light Staff. That's just the most common combo that I've seen so far. The weapon itself scales with focus and intelligence, so it makes more sense to pair it up with those two weapons, in my opinion. So definitely people are gonna come with other builds, but so far the most popular one is Life Staff and Void Gauntlet, and I think I saw a couple of Rapier users already with it. Rapier got buff, woohoo! But that's for another video that I'm gonna do. But I just wanted to show you the skills and also the upgrades, so you can decide if you want to use this weapon when it goes live. So let's start with the Annihilation Tree, which is the most DPS focus tree from them two. We're gonna start with the first upgrade here, that is Forsaken Pact. It adds 10% damage while below 10% mana. Then you have Keen Confidence. It give you 10 critical chance while below 50% health. This is very crucial because then you have Refreshing Precision. We give you 10% cooldown reduction on all abilities on critical hit. So as you notice, now you see a trend where you have to stack crit with this weapon in order to benefit for some of the upgrades. Alright, and then you have Efficient Harvest, which Harvest Essence health drain is reduced by 15% while below 25% mana. Next, we have Leashing Agony, which on critical hit gain health equal to 50% of the damage done. Again, more critical hit. Then we have Keen Humility, which 10% crit chance while all abilities are in cooldown. Then you have Empowered Proximity, which you gain empowered while casting ability within 5 meters of an enemy, increases damage by 10% for 5 seconds, starts 3 times. Alright, so some more damage but we empower. And then you have Refreshing Frailty, which 5% cooldown reduction on all abilities when successfully hitting enemies afflicted by 3 or more debuff stacks. Can be from different debuffs. Alright, so cooldown reduction, but as you can see, you need to stack crit in order to really benefit from this Annihilation tree. And then at the end you have Void Collar, which successfully ability hit gain a stack of Void Essence at 6 stacks, consume all the stacks, and gain a 3 meter aura that heals self and friendlies for 30% weapon damage and deal 30% weapon damage per second to enemies within. Healing skills exclusively on focus, 5% duration on 20% cooldown. Alright, so that's basically the upgrades or the Annihilation. Now let's go over the skills. Let's start with the Void Blade. It summons a blade of void energy that converts your basic attacks into melee. Tap basic attack to perform a quick slash that deals 100% weapon damage, or hold to perform a thrust attack that deals weapon damage 150% weapon damage. Both attacks inflict disintegrate on successful hits, dealing 5% weapon damage per second and reducing damage absorption by 5% for 8 seconds. Stat 3 times 15% 16-second duration. So this is very powerful, especially if you get rooted. Do not, from my experience, do not face tank Void Gauntlet if you are within this skill, which is Oblivion. It's somewhere circular rift of void energy that on your feet that deals 30% weapon damage per second to enemies and grants empower to self and friendlies, increases damage by 10%, 5 meter radius, 6 second duration. So you pair this with Petrifying Scream. It unleashes a void infused screen, dealing 100% weapon damage, staggering and inflicting root to enemies 5 meters in front of you. Disables the enemy movement for 2 seconds. This is really powerful when you combine it with the Oblivion. Do not, again, guys, do not face tank this. You're gonna definitely die. It feels like a hatchet on Berserk, and then you would definitely get a lot of damage done. So on that person, or you're gonna receive a lot of damage. So that's from my experience, guys. Definitely do not. It's evadable, so you definitely can evade those. Especially if you have rapier, definitely it's not a problem. But just be careful, because from my experience, I've heard they get him out of guard, combo him with the Oblivion, then Petrify Screen, and then they just go with boldly full damage, and you definitely can lose. Then for the upgrades, let's start with the Petrifying Scream. We have Bone Chilling Voice, root duration increased by 1 second on target below 50% health. And then you have Fortifying Echoes. We gain fortified on each enemy hit, increasing damage absorption by 10% for 10 seconds per hit, stacked up to 3 times. So you gain around 30% fortified. That's why I'm saying do not face tank, because it feels like you face tanking somebody with Berserk. Almost the same feeling. So once they root you, they definitely gonna go on your face with the void blade to destroy you. And then you have Fortified Blade, which you gain Fortify at start, increasing absorption by 20% for 5 seconds. That's an additional source of Fortify there. And then you have Vicious Void, which grants you 10% critical damage and void blade attacks. And then lastly, you have Leashing Blade, which successfully trucks attacks heal self for 5 weapon damage per disintegrate stacks on target. Scales exclusively with focus. So as you can see, since that this area is gonna scale more with the focus attributes, so maybe that's why a lot of people were pairing with the life staff to pretty much self sustain with the life staff and also DPS at the same time. Then on the Oblivion side, with the upgrade, you can attack.
Hey, y'all learned your lesson the first time, huh? You don't want to get close.
Then with Oblivion, the first upgrade we have Withering Oblivion. Your attacks inflict weaken to targets inside the radius, reducing their damage by 5% for 5 seconds per hit. It's stacked off to 3 times, so you get 15% damage debuff. So again, do not stay on the cloud. You're gonna get definitely decimated if you go there. Then you have Oblivion, which it gives you a 15% stamina per second for self and friendlies while inside the radius. So that's a good group buff in there. Next we have the Decay Tree. So let's go over the upgrade first, guys, and then we're gonna be taking a look over each skill. We have Fervent Thirst, 5% mana per successful ranged light attacks against targets afflicted by your Void Gauntlet debuff. Then you have Deadly Range, with 10% damage on successful range heavy attacks against target more than 8 meters away. Then you have Radiant Efficiency, with mana costs are reduced by 25% while above of 50% mana. Next, we have Leashing Bolts, which healing from ranged heavy attacks is increased by an additional 30% of damage if the target is below of 50% health. Next, we have Mending Evasion. Dodging with full mana heals you for 80% weapon damage. Scales exclusively with focus. 10% 20-second cooldown. Then on the side and the right side, we have the refreshing harvest upgrade. With cooldowns are reduced by 10% per second while performing harvest essence. And then you have extended suffering, which successful range attacks increases the duration on known crowd control debuff you have applied by 10%. Now the last talent here is Glint of the Void. Gain attack of Void Essence per successful hit. 4 or more stacks, your next successful range or heavy attack will instantly reset all Void Gauntlet cooldowns and it remove all the stacks by 15% cooldown. So let's go over the first skill here, which is Orb of the Decay. Fire an unblockable orb that passes through enemies, deal 100% damage and inflicts disintegrate, dealing 5% weapon damage per second and reducing damage absorption by 5% for 8 seconds. Stats off to 3 times. At mad range, it performs into a healing orb and returns healing friendly by 20%, weapon damage per second for 5 seconds. Healing scale exclusively with focus. Now this is a cool ability I've seen in action. I'm gonna equip it later so you can see how they look when you perform these skills. Then let's go over the upgrade here. You have Draining Orb, which gain 5% mana per enemy hit on the orb. And then you have Slowing Orb, which the orb slows enemy already afflicted by any debuff, reducing their movement by 30% for 3 seconds. Lastly, we have Detonating Orb. It press the ability input to detonate the orb within 4 meters explosion radius. Depending on the orb phase, the explosion will either damage the enemy by 100% that weapon damage and apply a stack of disintegrate or heal friendlies for 70% weapon damage. Healing scale exclusively with focus. So as you can see, the tree itself on both sides is telling you that the main scaler for this Void Gauntlet is the focus, and then secondary will be intelligence. All right. Now on the left you have Baleful Tether. Fire a projectile that tethers into an enemy, weakening and empowering you by 5% per second, 20% maximum. The tether ends if the target moves beyond 50% and 10 for 10-second duration. They looks like a string when they apply that to you, so you look like you have a string, like a umbilical cord to that enemy that applied that to you. It's kind of cool. It looks very awesome. On the right side, Essence of Rupture. Fire a projectile that inflicts Essence Rupture for 10 seconds, healing anyone that hits the target for 20% of the damage done. Does not apply damage over time. Now here you have Invigorating Rupture. Players additionally receive 15% stamina when hitting the afflicted target, and at the end you have Overflowing Essence. Friendly within 4 meters afflicted target are healed by 80% of your weapon damage when Essence Rupture ends. Scale exclusively with focus. Let's go and inspect some of the skills so you can see how they look. Okay, I'm gonna start here with the left side. All right, so I'm gonna apply Blade. I think it looks cool. It looks very awesome. You can do the fast attacks, basic attacks, and heavies. So this is how you see the basic one, and this is the heavy one. Okay. All right. Now notice that this is also very awesome. If you waste mana, you can sacrifice some of your health in order to get mana. Okay. I think it does a very cool touch there. Now, if you do this, then you have the little area effect that usually people will do this. They stack it on you and while you're in it, then they'll start doing all the basic attacks. And again, guys, for my experience, do not fake tank this. Do not get comfortable because you probably might die by doing this. All right. So that's as far the Annihilation. So that's as far as Annihilation. Let's take the Decay skills here. As you can see, the video code that I showed you, and then this is the ball that usually that you throw away. I think this is one of the. It looks like a dodgeball kind of ability. It's kind of cool that it goes through enemies and bounces back to you. This one I'm not very fan of it. It looks like a just regular attack. So I think they really need to rework that animation, because you can definitely confuse that with just a regular or heavy attack. That's basically it, guys. I just wanted to do a quick video to show you the boy gauntlet. I think it's great. Is it broken so far? My first impression, I don't think it is. From my experience, I definitely had no problem with him beating the boy gauntlet's users compared to an ice gauntlet. In my opinion, the ice gauntlet, I think, is way stronger in terms of CC and outburst damage when they put you in the roots. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think. I'll also try. They buffed the repulse. I'm gonna talk about that later. I'm really excited for my double bleed build. It's become so stronger now. I'm extremely happy. So I'm just gonna showcase this to you guys, and then to see what you think. Let me know in the section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.